Hello, it is 2023, and for the first video of this year, I want to share with you guys my 2023 resolution and my foolproof plan to make sure that I stick to it. I know that this channel is the vehicle by which I'll realize whatever vague dreams live inside of me. I know that the work that I'll do on this channel is the work that I need to be doing to get me to where I want to be in life, both externally in terms of the stuff around my life, for lack of a better word, but also internally in terms of my own personal development and the fulfillment of certain intrinsic motivations that I have. This feels like the thing that I need to be doing, the thing that I need to be pouring all of myself into, but because of a lot of factors, I have not had the best time with consistency or with following through on the plans that I have set for myself, i.e. my disorderliness, which brings me to the first part of my strategy in making sure that I stick to my goal. The very first step, step zero, if you will, has been anchoring myself to a clear and strong why. I've really thought extremely long and extremely hard about what my purpose on this earth is. It is the question that has possessed me for the last 7 years, but it has honestly been with me for a long time. I can remember being a little kid and watching shows about theoretical physics on TV and watching these physicists talk about their work with such passion and with such understanding for their craft, and thinking to myself, wow, these people have a life's work. They don't have a job that they just clock in 9 to 5. These people have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of one question, whatever it was. And that amazed me. And that little thought seed has stayed with me ever since. And it's just coming to bloom in my own life now, which brings me to the next part of my strategy. Because I'm a very ambitious and curious person, I've run into the problem many times before of trying to introduce too many things into my life at once. But it's had the not so surprising effect of spreading myself way too thin and getting absolutely none of it done. I've learned from my shortcomings, or at least I'm trying to learn from my shortcomings. And so this year, what I decided to do is to set one singular goal that will be my sole focus. That way I know at all times what it is that I'm actually supposed to be doing. I'm setting my sights on one thing and one thing only, organizing all of my psyche and all of my life in this one pointed kind of way around YouTube, video making, and storytelling. But to be fair, I already left my job so that this could be my sole focus, and I've still had difficulty in following through, which brings me to the next part of my strategy. I straight up left the United States for a little while, and for 3 key reasons. The first is because I just felt like I needed a change in environment to really kickstart myself into gear. I felt like trying to change so much about how I'm oriented in the world while remaining in an environment that I was used to and that I already had grooves carved out in just really wouldn't work. I needed a fresh start, a fresh canvas, and fresh soil to plant in. The second part is because I luckily am an extremely inspired person. If I go to the ballet, I'm ready to become a professional dancer. If I watch a streamer on Twitch, I'm ready to become a professional gamer. If I rock climb at my local gym one time, I am ready to free solo El Capitan. That's just part of my personality and how my brain works. And so I'm using that to my advantage. Traveling South and Central America is fueling me with so much life energy, and it necessarily makes me want to create. The beauty that I'm surrounded by here in these new countries makes me want to write, makes me want to film, makes me want to create something so that I can share it with people, you, and have you come along for the ride and get something of value out of this experience as well. And a third important product of traveling is that I no longer have the time to compulsively scroll, watch, or play video games. I've gotten a month's worth of a much needed dopamine detox, and I can honestly say that I feel way more motivated than I have in a long time. And moving on to the last part of my strategy is changing my relationship to people. I've given up on the idea that I need to do everything completely on my own. I've learned that the people that we surround ourselves with make up a large part of who and how we are. The people that we choose to be around us can support us and bolster us, making us better than we would be if we were alone. I mean, other people have strengths where we might have weaknesses, and so if we can leverage that, then we're only going to be the better for it. For example, I'm traveling with my girlfriend and I use her as a sounding board all of the time. Whenever I'm thinking through ideas, troubleshooting problems, or I just need some form of insight that I can't get by myself, I go to her for advice. She's been a dancer and an artist her whole life, and so she understands what it means to try to create something. And so given that I'm in the infancy of my creative pursuit, her insight is invaluable to me. I've also somehow convinced one of my best friends to join in on the project as well, and so I can use him as a sounding board. And we have phone calls a few times a week so we can touch base and make sure that I'm still moving forward. If I was doing this alone, I could sort of slack off and slowly fizzle away, but having somebody that I'm actively touching base with gives me that sense of feedback, that measure, that sense of accountability that I need to make sure that I'm pushing through. Also, having even just 2 people be involved in this project makes it feel like it actually matters in the immediate short term. One thing that's been difficult for me is feeling like what I'm doing right now doesn't actually matter. I'm not getting the big view counts, the comments, social feedback, brand deals, or sponsorships. If I were to stop posting videos right now, it would be of no consequence. And so in some sense, what I'm doing right now doesn't actually matter. And that's been difficult for me because why put energy and effort into something that feels fruitless? And I know why. It's because if I put in the work now, in the future, it will be worth it. But still, trying to move through that feeling in the present moment has been very difficult for me. But now that I have 2 other people involved in this project, I don't feel that nearly as much. Having something to really dig into and think about with my girlfriend is really nice to have. And having a reason to call up one of my best friends a few times a week and just talk about life before we talk about videos is also really nice to have. I'm using this project as a bridge to better connect in my relationships with the people that I care about. And so in that sense, it does matter. That makes it feel like this process of stumbling around trying to figure out how to make videos does matter, because I'm using it as a bridge to connect with the people that I care about. And that is important. So let's wrap this up. In summary, I have one goal this year, and that is to work on and grow my channel. To make sure that I can actually stick to this goal, my strategy boils down into the following. Step 0, clear and strong why. Step 1, singular why-centered goal, and to work towards that goal in a way that works for you. Step 2, change an environment to help facilitate a change in self. Step 3, incorporate people that you care about into the endeavor. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of my approach, or if you have any strategies of your own that you're trying to implement. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to think. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of others.